The Department of Justice in the US has charged an Iranian national on Wednesday for plotting the assassination of the former President Donald Trump's national security advisor, John Bolton, who was the main architect of the administration's maximum pressure campaign against Iran. Well, court documents show that 45-year-old Shahram Poursafi, who was also a member of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, tried to arrange the killing of Bolton in retaliation for the January 2020 U.S. airstrike that killed Iran's top commander, General Qasem Soleimani. Let's take a listen now to a statement by the U.S. Assistant Attorney General.
The facts we allege are clear and chilling. Beginning in October 2021, working on behalf of the IRGC's Quds Force, Shahram Poursafi offered a U.S. resident a significant sum of money to hire someone to, quote, eliminate the former national security advisor. This was not an idle threat. And this is not the first time we have uncovered brazen acts by Iran to exact revenge against individuals on U.S. soil.
Straight to our U.S. Bureau now. Our senior correspondent, Mike Wagenheim, is live for us there in New York. Mike, thanks for coming on. This is, of course, a story that's still unfolding, but walk us through a little bit the details of this indictment and what you know so far.
It's a murder-for-hire plot, apparently, again, in retaliation for the assassination of Qasem Soleimani. On October 21st of last year, authorities say that Shahram Poursafi asked a U.S. resident for photos of John Bolton, purportedly for a book that Poursafi was writing on the subject. That person in the U.S. directed Poursafi to another person and said, maybe this person can help you with photographs. Well, those requests for photographs wound up turning into a request to murder Bolton. And the price, originally $250,000, negotiated up to $300,000. There were messages exchanged on a number of encrypted applications. During that time, Poursafi never denied he was a member of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, though he didn't confirm it either. But authorities say they saw photos on Poursafi's online account showing the insignia of the Corps there and believe he is a member of the IRGC. In the meantime, there was always a back and forth about this murder. How are we going to do it? What instrument are we going to use? When is it going to happen? Authorities say that Poursafi knew the whereabouts of Bolton at particular times, sometimes through public information, but other times it's not so clear how he got that information. Obviously, the plot was never carried out. There was discussion about a second potential operation for upwards of $1 million. The target of that is not clear. Eventually, only $100 in cryptocurrency was transferred to this source in the United States. We're not sure who that source is at this particular point in time. Again, those charges just unsealed today in Washington, D.C.
But, Mike, does all of this potentially impact nuclear talks between Washington and Tehran?
Doesn't appear to. Listen, this is far from the first plot under these types of circumstances that we've seen from Tehran. They're actively, and they say it, they come around and say we're actively trying to assassinate American officials and former American officials. Iranian dissidents are targets here in America. It's all over the news here in New York City. One dissident here has been targeted a number of times, including just in the last few weeks where an Iranian went onto her doorstep to conduct surveillance. These plots have been going on for decades now. It really doesn't seem to affect talks whatsoever. Critics say that's a sign of White House weakness. The White House will tell you, hey, we can handle two things at once, trying to put the box on Iran's nuclear program while still investigating potential acts of terrorism here in the U.S.